a vintage Signal electric box fan. It's a 12-inch model. It's the model WS-12. It is made probably in the mid to late 1950s. My understanding is Signal Electric kind of disappeared sometime in the late 50s. I believe they were bought out or something. So this is probably towards the end of the Signal brand. It's a very high quality fan. Unlike a lot of small box fans, it runs at a relatively low speed. It only seems to run a little faster than a full-size version. It's pretty quiet. It's very well made. It uses their own motor. My understanding is Signal Electric typically use their own motors, and this motor does not look like anything I've ever seen before. It looks similar to an old Westinghouse, but it's not. I did replace the cord on it. That's all I had. Brand new cord, it's fine. And I have a knob up here that I had to put on, and I had to clean the switch with CRC contact cleaner. That didn't work. I was going to try deoxit, and if that didn't work, I was going to probably replace the switch. It doesn't use a speed coil or anything. It's a 3-speed motor. It's a shaded pole motor. I do want to eventually pull the blades off and clean them really well, and clean the front of the motor and inside the hub, but they're fused to the shaft. And when I was working on it, I didn't have time or energy to really fight with it, so I just left it alone. It's fine. It works fine. I did, however, give it some oil. Both oil ports I oiled. I put new rubber feet on. It had most of its original feet, but they were rock hard, and one of them was broken. You got to replace these grommets so the handle sits in there properly. It's a hefty little fan. Very nice little fan, especially on low. It'll be a nice fan to use in like a bedroom. It's a typical metal box fan. The grills are held on with these bent little tabs that, you know, act as a spring and hold it through tension. That's really it. I'll start it up on high. Very powerful. It's in a kind of a small area right here, so it's getting a lot of air, you know, kind of forcing its way around. It's moving a lot of air in this room, but it is making some turbulence noise. Medium. The switch still feels a little flaky, but it's a lot better than it was. It makes a good connection, it just feels a little crappy and low. See, like most box fans from this time, it has holes in the side where a stand could mount, and they were threaded holes. Back to medium. Back on high. This fan has a lot of hours on it. It's very obvious that this is a heavily used fan, but it was maintained. My opinion is that with most machines, fans included, you're better off buying a fan that has a lot of hours but was maintained properly. It was lubricated, it was cleaned. Because you have a fan that was used seldomly or never used. The lubricant in these old motors, a lot of it was animal fat based, or early petroleum lubricants did this as well. They become either waxy or they kind of gel up and they get sticky. When they sit for a long period of time, unused, they don't go through heat cycles, they don't go through, you know, the movement of having the shaft spinning in the sleeve bearing, that oil becomes like glue, and then the bearings get stiff. If you have a fan like this that has been used a lot over the years, but lubricated with maybe not even the right proper oil, but it's been lubricated with oil for years, it keeps that old oil from gumming up, and it, you know, over time that oil will dry out and you'll replenish it with new oil. So the oil in there, yeah, there's still trace amounts of the original oil in this that was in there when it was built, but it doesn't get the chance to become go bad and become a sticky, gummy mess, which makes slow bearings. That's why this and my old Wizard Deluxe box fan that I used to have, the blue one I made a video of like 10 years ago, they were both an example of high hours fans that were lubricated and cleaned properly. They didn't take the motor apart, but they, maintained it. They oiled it every so often. They cleaned it every so often. And both this motor and that motor had super silky smooth bearings. Meanwhile, I've had other fans that are seldomly used, and they're a nightmare. They were a nightmare to get going again. My range hood was one of those. Anyway, so that's it. Just a little bit of a rant there, and that's it for the Signal box fan. I'm going to clean it up at some point. I have so much shit to do. This is not on my priorities list. It works how it is. It's usable. I've used it enough now. It's fine. At some point I'll clean it up when I have nothing else to do. Yeah, it's cute. I like it. Thank you for watching.